Hey, everybody, Hop Sauce checking in. Hope you're doing well today. Let's make it a great week right here. So, I want to share with you today a new report claims that crypto use in illegal networks is rising sharply. Okay, I'm going to spend a couple minutes here in talking about this. Whenever headlines drop like this, fear spreads fast, as we know. Human beings do that, especially around assets like XRP that's really, kind of on the chopping block and in the headlines, and the broader crypto market. Today, I'm going to break this down calmly. We're going to show some facts and talk about what it actually means for regulation. We got to be transparent here. XRP is going forward. We want all this stuff out on the table, so any negative headlines don't hit us that hard. So, any use of financial systems for trafficking or criminal activity is unacceptable. If you're a criminal looking at this video right now, we don't want you here. If you support criminal activity, it's not okay. Especially human trafficking. You're going to the bottom place instead of the top place when you die. So that's all I'm saying. Now, we're not talking about does crime exist, because of course we all know that the real question here, how traceable is crypto compared to traditional finance? Okay. So cash has been used illicitly in illicit activity for decades. Okay, once it changes hands, how are you going to track it? It's literally impossible to track where cash goes for illegal activity. Now, blockchain-based assets operate a little bit differently. Transactions are recorded on a public ledger forever. You're not able to remove it. Now, the thing about crypto, okay, there's wallet transparency, transaction history visibility. Analytic firms are currently tracking the flows of things constantly. And it's things where blockchain doesn't eliminate crime, but it leaves fingerprints. And that's why I've heard earlier on, people don't say it as much, but they're talking about, crypto was designed for criminals to do criminal activities. It's like you're not thinking straight. Cash is not traceable. Blockchain transactions are. Now it is hard to put a person's name with a wallet. I'm not disagreeing with that, but at least there's a fingerprint there. Okay. Now, criminals attempt to use mixers and privacy tools, and those also create patterns that analytic firms study. Historically, the illicit crypto activities represent a small percentage of total transactions and volume. That's the other thing I wanted to point out, even though headlines amplify stuff like this, because you're going to see it. There's a headline out that talks about this. Okay. So this is exactly why the regulatory clarity matters so much with the XRP transparency plus the legal structure create stronger financial rails, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're looking here for all this clarity stuff. I didn't want it at first, but when you start learning and understanding these kind of things, we do want clarity. Now, XRP has long positioned itself around institutional payment infrastructure. That's its utility. So when regulation tightens, assets that fit into compliant frameworks may benefit greatly here. Okay? Now, let's talk about how negative headlines affect sentiment. It's, risk-off environment, basic correlation to broader market fear as well when we hear these headlines. So now markets react to these kind of headlines. So maybe we saw a little dip. That's why before they figure out what's going on. That's where the volatility comes from in the crypto markets. Now, the bigger story here, it's not whether or not criminals attempt to use crypto. Okay, it's how the ecosystem responds. So this is what I'm getting at here. Through the analytics, compliance, and regulation is how we're going to tame these kind of things here. Now, the long-term adoption for a project like XRP depends on trust. It's got to be transparent. We all know that. And it's the institution's integrity coming in here that is going to solidify. We want some volatility for sure, but it will calm things down a little bit. Now, here's what I was looking at. I'm going to show you this article real quick. Where'd it go? It's right here. Boom, boom. What's the title on this bad boy? It says, cryptocurrency flow to suspected human trafficking services surge 85% year over year, because we're tracking it now. So, and then let me come over here. Here's the one bullet point that I wanted to show you. There's a couple things it says, okay, the crypto flow, suspected human trafficking, largely based in Southeast Asia, grew 85%. It's horrible. It's horrible stuff right here. I'm sick of hearing these kind of things are happening to human beings, young people specifically. Now, the last bullet point, it says right here, unlike cash transactions, cryptocurrency inherent transparency creates unprecedented opportunities for law enforcement and compliance teams to detect, track, and distribute trafficking operations. Now, those of you who think it's easier for illegal activity to happen with cryptocurrency, that's what I'm trying to explain to you today. It's safer. The word safer doesn't apply here. It's easier to catch criminals on blockchain than it is for them to use cash. It's a silly debate that I've heard in the past, and it's come up here, but it can be interpreted backwards. Be careful when you're looking at these articles that come out right here, because you can be interpreted backwards. So, with that said, headlines create fear. Data creates clarity. We're looking for clarity, everybody. That's what we're trying to do here. My goodness. So, I'm going to continue covering this kind of stuff right here. How these articles develop, and if it impacts XRP and the broader markets. Okay, so I'll just, hey, if you're looking forward to staying updated on this kind of stuff, give me that thumbs up, hit that sub right here, and then the notifications. You'll know whenever I post a video. You can see what headline I'm talking about today and stuff like that. So, hey, let's make it a good week, everybody. I'll check in on some prices. I just want this dust to settle. We got the tariff problems going on. Let's just let this week play out. I'll check back in with some of these topics. Probably Wednesday. Today's Monday, so let's just see. I'll see if anything pops up tomorrow, and I'll share it with you right here. Hops off, signing off. Thanks for checking in, everybody. Enjoy your day and your week. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out.